Welcome to my Polyend Tracker unboxing video. Freebeat. Hey, how's it going everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, where I post new music related content every single day. So if that sounds good to you, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Today's patron shout out goes to Luke Stark. Thank you so very much for the support. Let's get started. I am so excited for today's video. You have no idea how long I've been waiting to get my hands on this device. And well, thanks to the wonderful folks at Zounds.com, I've actually been able to loan this from them. I think they're going to have a hard time getting it back from me, to be completely honest. I've done quite a bit of research and just kind of exploring the sounds and the way that I want to work over these past few years, and I think the tracker is going to tick a lot of boxes for me personally. However, I'm not going to necessarily get into those today. This is more about the unboxing and the first impressions. How does this knife? That way. Also, you may notice we're not in the studio. I'm actually on a kind of tiny miniature vacation right now. But this showed up just before we left, so I decided I'd bring it with me, and I got Lady Freebeat on the camera. Say hi.
Hi.
Thank you for filming.
Yeah.
We just got here like 10 minutes ago, so we're actually filming this unboxing before the rest of her family gets here. And look at that. Polyend Tracker. I kind of like having a camera person. No, you don't like it? I kind of like this. It's a pretty box. It is a pretty box. I thought this was the box. I guess not. So, the Polyend Tracker, nothing on the back, is a hardware tracker device, which tracker being the kind of DAWs that came out in like the late 80s and early 90s. I'm honestly not super knowledgeable about them. I did try Renoise out recently, which is tracker software, and I have been using LSDJ on the Game Boy recently as well, which is a tracker, but basically it's a vertical way of working where you can see your tracks and they go down through your song vertically and you input the notes. It kind of looks like a spreadsheet. I'm not doing it any justice right now, but that's because I'm pretty excited to get into this unboxing. We will be getting deep into everything in the near future. What am I doing wrong here? Okay. Oh, wow. It is much smaller than I thought it would be. Oh, it's so small and thin and light. Wow. Okay, so we've got the tracker right here. In here, I believe we also have a USB to Type or USB-C to A cable, as well as I think a couple of MIDI adapters. So let's take a peek at that. Not gonna get too into the accessories. We got some adapters. Here's our MIDI adapters. An SD to, or micro SD to USB reader for the computer. MIDI adapters, USB-C to A, and some different wall plugs, depending on what region, what country you live in. I'm just gonna leave all that stuff there. I came prepared today. I brought a power bank with an A to C cable because you can actually power the Polyend Tracker with a power bank. So that's what we're going to be doing today. All right, let's get this thing unboxed. This looks, oh, that was nice. This looks elegant. Oh, 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 that is so nice. Oh, okay, try it. Oh, these feel awful. Not awful, but when you come from these like mechanical switches here and this, oh, that feels great. To these pads here, I believe they're not velocity sensitive or anything like that. Yeah, definitely a stark contrast. Nice big screen, not a touchscreen either, which I'm pretty excited about. Let's look at the back. We've got USB Type-C for power and data transfer. We've got a power button there. No internal battery on this, which is kind of a bummer, but with a power bank, you can kind of fake it. Micro SD card slot, and they give you an SD card. They give you a 16 gigabyte micro SD card. I'm guessing that's where they load all the factory content. And I do believe that's where you save all content on the tracker. Anyway, MIDI in and out, 3.5 millimeter. People are going to be upset about that. I prefer 5-pin. It's not a deal breaker for me, but I do prefer 5-pin. We got a 3.5 millimeter mic in, 3.5 millimeter line in, and 3.5 millimeter line out. So speaking of that 3.5 millimeter line out, I'm going to plug my brand new Polyend Tracker into my Zoom H5, which I'm recording with over here. You can show that if you want. Can they see it? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Microphone, tracker, and we're recording on both. All right, let's go ahead and plug in our Type-C port here. This retails, by the way, I believe for $599 US. You can get it in most places. Wow, that looks awesome. But yeah, $599 to I think around $699 US. It's basically an 8-track, like full-blown audio workstation. I guess I really haven't gone into any of the specs. So you work in a downward fashion. Each one of these represents steps. You can see all of your tracks across the screen there. So there's 4 tracks. How do I view the other tracks? Oh, there we go. With the arrows. So track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you work in a downward fashion. All the tracks are monophonic, but there's ways around that. We're going to do a whole bunch of content talking about all that stuff. You get up to 255 patterns per project, and a pattern can be up to 128 steps. So at its heart, this is a sample player and sampler. It does have a line in, you can sample right to it. So basically you go into your SD card and you load sounds here. So we got some arrow keys here, and then we have a home button, which is basically enter. Let's see, I'm just gonna pick something random. Drums, loading file list. So now we can preview our sounds here. Sorry if it clips, by the way. Let's go ahead and add that to our sample pool. So this column over here on the right is all the samples that are currently in this track, or in this project. So we get up to 48 of those. And each step in our sequencer can have on any track, any instrument in that sample pool. So you have 8 tracks, but you're not really limited. Let's load this kick as well. Let's see if we can find a snare drum here. Snare drums. There we go, that sounds good. We'll load it in right here. So now we have 2 kicks and a snare drum. Let's get some hi-hats. Okay, sounds good. So now we've got some drums in there. Let's go get some synth content. Before we go get synths though, if you see right here, we have project memory, so that's all the room we have left. So anyway, let's get a synth, because not only does this machine allow you to load samples as like one-shots and loops and stuff like that, but you also have wavetable synthesis and granular synthesis based on those samples too. So you can really get pretty in-depth with it. There we go, we'll load that in. And let's get one more. There we go, we'll load that too. Okay? Cool, so now we go back to our song. How do I get back to the song? Home? No. There's our instrument parameters, a lot of stuff there. Master, perform, song, pattern. Oh, it's under pattern. Okay, so let's go ahead and sequence our kick drum here on track 1. We're just going to do 4 on the floor. So I turn on record mode. Now you'll notice we have 4 lines within our track here. The first one is the note that we want to play. So if I hold down note, you can see I've got all of these pictures on screen here relating to these pads, and those are the different notes. If I hold down instrument, I can actually pick what instrument I want. So using the jog wheel, I'm going to go to bass drum. That's where I want it. I want right there, C1. Whoops, that was a little too high. There we go, E5, perfect. The other 2 slots are for effects, but on the Polyend Tracker, those can be anything from panning to micro move to like your filter LFO, your straight up filters themselves, whether you play the sample forward or reverse, your reverb send, the tuning of the sample, there's an arpeggiator. You can even bend up to a sound. And don't forget, all of these are per step, so you can get super in-depth. And I believe, yeah, you can just delete it like that. So now let's say we want to put our kick drum in the rest of our measure here. So 4/4, so I'm gonna go fill. Whoops, no I'm not. Back, cancel. Okay, I gotta learn to look here too. Hang on, how do I fill? Oh boy. Fill. Okay, each step, we're gonna go every 4 notes, okay? Chromatic, that's fine, and constant. And I think I just hit fill now? No, I messed up. I did something wrong. There's a lot to learn here, clearly. Oh, I remember what I did wrong. Shift plus up is gonna select everything, backspace clears it, okay? Shift plus home again to the top. I now know what I did wrong. Shift and up, let's highlight this whole track. Now I hit fill, perfect. We're gonna go fill, we're gonna go each, every 4 steps. With our instrument, with our kick drum, yep. And I think I could just hit fill now. And then hit play, which is somewhere. Right here. Okay, I clearly messed that up too. We're gonna figure this out. How are we doing for time? 15 minutes? How's your arm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, you're a trooper, I appreciate it. Everybody give Lady Freebeat some love in the chat, in the comment section. We're gonna try this one more time, and then I'm gonna play around with it. And trust me, I've got tons of content planned for this device. So, we're gonna go is it step 4? Instrument 1, yep. Each, every 4 steps. Fill. Oh, there we go. Okay, now check it out. All right, so sorry about that. The camera just died, but I was just able to fill in hi-hats on all the offbeats, and it sounds like this. And that barely took any effort at all, and it only used 1 track. So let's throw down a snare drum. Here we'll go down to step 9. Yeah, and then I'll hold instrument and go to my snare drum and record mode on. There we go. And now I will go down to step, oh boy, I didn't think this through. That's the wrong place. I'm just gonna put some random ones in. Let's hit play. Yeah, that's cool. I gotta remember play is here, not the red one. Let's add a synth in real quick, and then we will call it for this one so Lady Freebeat can take a break. Let's get a synthesizer here. So we'll go instrument on track 3. We'll get easy tone. You can live play, or you can just sequence your notes in like we've been doing for everything else. But let's do it a different way instead. So shift and up, highlight that whole column, record mode on. We're gonna go to fill. I'm gonna go to each. I'm going to fill every 3 steps. Also, if you notice that button just stuck down, I heard that some of these buttons can be a little sticky when you get them right out of the factory. So yeah, apparently that does go away. We are gonna go now to our scale here. Oh, you can use arrows there too. I'm really liking the feel of being at a computer, but not. Like everything, like the right hand goes here, the left hand goes here. I think once I get a handle on it, it's gonna go really, really well. Let's go Dorian. That's fine. And we will go random. And now it's gonna fill in random notes from C2. Actually, we'll go from C2 to A5. How about that? And now we'll click in fill. And now have a listen. Here we go. And of course, I am then free to go in and edit any of these parameters here. So you can do a combination of holding down the wheel, or holding down the button and changing it with the wheel, then going down, let's do this one. Let's throw an effect on here. I have to update the firmware on this, I'm pretty sure. Is there glide on this? I think it has glide. Yeah, we'll go glide. Here we go. And we will set the glide amount. Sure. This is awesome. I already love it, and I can tell that this is probably going to wind up being one of my favorite instruments that I've ever used. I hope you're excited for the future with the Polyend Tracker. I know I am. What do you think?
I like those pretty buttons.
And I do hope you found this video maybe somewhat informative, hopefully entertaining. If you did, be sure to leave a like on it. If not, you can always leave a dislike. That's okay too. Doesn't hurt my feelings, just makes me try that much harder next time. Either way, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell. Thank you all so very much for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye. You little brat. She was doing my whole spiel off camera and doing one hand movement. Bye, everybody.